guys, how's it going? Matt here. It's been a while since I've given an update on the van in the vlog. I have obviously the van life channel that I'm trying to put cleaner content on, more streamlined, more like just van stuff. So I haven't really been putting too much van stuff on this channel, but I'd kind of like to show you what's been going on because it's been quite busy. First off, we've been cutting and prepping wood. All of the wood, Annie and Eva are coming to help me with the cabinets today, so we'll have some of that a little bit later. But I wanted to kind of give you a synopsis of what's been going on. So, as you guys must have followed previous videos, a guy named Teddy in Portland, a friend of mine, designed all the cabinets in the interior of the van. Then I came back to Detroit, had to find somebody to cut it based on the information that Teddy had. I was here in Detroit, found a company called Detroit Woodworking. Hello, Detroit Woodworking. Thank you so much for helping me out. You went ahead and cut all of the pieces on 4x8 sheets of Baltic birch plywood of varying thickness. I went ahead and had to route out all of the pieces that were sort of stenciled out of those large 4x8 sheets of plywood. They were sort of a little rough, and so I cleaned them up here at the shop. This is my dad's shop in Southeast Michigan. If you guys had followed my dad's cancer and subsequent death, we spent a lot of time here. Me and him, father and son, building different things. And when he died a number of years ago, this place sort of went quiet. And it's really cool to kind of get back into this place and make it useful. And I have been making this place very useful. I have the heater running. It's minus 5 degrees outside. I even need a little space heater because it gets pretty darn cold. And so a lot of sanding, a lot of prep work, a lot of that going on here. There was a bit of an issue though, because the plywood was just that, plywood. And here, let me show you. Here's a scrap piece. So plywood, if you guys don't know, is sandwiched wood. It's just wood sandwiched together with some adhesive, and then you have a nice veneer on the front and a nice veneer on the back. And so you have all of this exposed plywood edge. A lot of people, when they build vans, some of them use 2x4s, you know, really raw, kind of rough wood designs. It depends on what you want. I wanted my interior to be super, super clean, really nice stuff. So when I put the van together, I intended to edge band everything. Edge banding is a piece of veneered wood. This is edge banding. It's basically Baltic birch that has been sliced off really thin and wrapped in a coil. And then you take that edge banding and you adhese it to the corners. All of this is plywood. It's all the exact same as this wood, this rough edged wood, but I have added the edging to that. Now, I didn't do that all on my own. As a matter of fact, all of those pieces were done at a company called Division 6. Division 6 is another company that has kind of come on board via a neighbor to this house. His name's Mike. Works at a cabinet company. I invited him over. I said, hey, you know, I'm getting to the phase where I might need some advice on cabinetry and especially painting and coating. And he's like, my boss, Mike, you know, we work at this huge interior design cabinet shop called Division 6, and he might be interested in helping you out. So he passed on the word to Mike. Mike reached out to me, said, come on by. I made a review tour on the channel here of Division 6 a few videos back, and we've been talking a lot. Now, he can't do everything for me, but he did give me a lot of advice, and he says, hey, why don't we use our big machine to do the edge banding? And so we did the edge banding at his shop, which was super, super helpful. And he gave me a huge table to do the rest of the edge banding because his machines couldn't do some more of the intricate stuff, and so I was doing that. Afterwards, I brought it all back here. Every piece, this whole garage was full of stuff, and I started nailing, screwing, and gluing everything together. Once everything got together, there were a few mistakes. There was some there was some problem solving, but we ended up getting it all straight. And now it's all mounted in the van, except for obviously the cabinet faces. We are talking with a company called Blum about the cabinet hardware. There's some like really nice overhead cabinet hardware and drawer hardware, because I kind of want these drawers to not only slow close and open cleanly, but I also need them to stay properly closed when I want them closed, because I'll be rocking and rolling on the road. There's some questions with that. Maybe I'll make a whole new video about hardware, because that's some questions. Before I go out and show you the van interior, which is really awesome, you're going to enjoy it. We'll cover colors, and then I'll talk a little bit about this. So this is the trike. I had it all boxed up because I was measuring things for a company called Bike Flights that was going to help me to get the trike to Europe for the upcoming Spezi show, which I'll be attending in Germany, and then doing a cycling tour in Italy. I bought the tickets for that trip yesterday, so that trip is official. I will be in Italy until the 23rd of May, and I will be leaving America on the, the 27th of April to go to the Spezi show. After the Spezi show, I'll be delivered to Italy, and then we'll be riding all around Italy. That I'll save for another episode. Turns out that Bike Flights was not able to help me. There was just some issues between, nothing against Bike Flights, just it was kind of a rushed thing, and we tried to make something happen, but it didn't end up happening. So I'm going to actually have to pull that out of the box, assemble it, and then I'll take it to Portland with me, because we are going to be going to Portland on April 17th. See all this stuff? There's a lot of stuff going. We're driving to Portland to see my friend Mel and Pat and drop the van off at Just Roaming Design to get wired up. That's a little bit of the reason why I'm sort of rushing to get everything into the van and assembled, because electrical is going to be when we get to Portland. So we're going to be, it's kind of nice, because bikeflights.com, if they were going to help me out, I would have to ship the bike from here to Germany. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it with me assembled to Portland, and I'll get to ride around with Pat and Mel and the crew and do some rides before I take it to Germany and then Italy. There's a whole series of things about carrying bikes on planes and trikes on planes, and some things that I've learned, and I do have a flight booked, and they do know I have a bike, a large bike, and they do have the allowances for the sizes that I need. And so we're going to attempt to do this again, guys. We're going to attempt to actually go. But we have the tickets and we are going. So anyways, we picked out colors for the van. I picked out a few colors, and then Eva picked out a color. So this is Eva's color. I let her paint a cat with it. That's about as far as we're going to go. The interior of the van has a number of different colors in it that are standard. One of them is, this is the laminate flooring that I have attached to a bunch of the cabinet faces. So this is kind of one color. And then if you, so this is one of the colors. So I have this as the main cabinet color. This is basketry. It's called basketry. And let's see here if I can focus better. So that's basketry. And then the dark color and the cabinet faces are all going to be this called Little Black Dress. So we're not going to be using any of Eva's color. So I am very sorry about that. She's sorry, honey. Just is what it is. But let's go see how it looks in the van, because that's where the magic happens. It's -5 degrees and we are in the cold again. If you guys remember the dogs, this is Boaz, and that is Jake, and they are large and pushy. So when you open the side door of the van, the first thing that you're going to see is the kitchen cabinet, and the kitchen cabinet is upholstered on two sides, rolling over the edge with that, it's called Lawn Ridge from Lone Seal. It's that durable flooring material. There'll also be Lawn Ridge here at the step, and that step is going to be, I'm trying to find somebody in metal fabricating that can possibly build a metal kind of framework for that here at the step, but so far haven't gotten that yet. Before we go into the van, let's go to the back and I'll show you the garage. So the back of the van area for storage and stuff is sort of called the garage, and it's also the back of my podcasting studio. So when I have events, I go to events with the van, I will open these doors. I'll have speakers up on these two doors that will be playing the podcast. I'll have a raised table here, and I'll have guests sitting around this upholstered couch. Now, there'll be obviously cushions here. It'll be very cool. Underneath here, though, will be the shop. And the shop will have a bunch of that lawn ridge upholstered material. This lawn ridge is actually going to go all the way back to the back of the garage area. And these panels, all the panels here are going to be upholstered with that darker color material that I showed you before. So let's go into the van via the side door. Now, if you see, both of these seats here are swiveled. So the passenger seat swivels. That's a Scopema swivel I got from the Swivel shop in Vancouver. And then the driver's seat swivels as well. But the cool thing is I designed this box here that is like sort of a shoebox utility box. And that wall is also coated with the lawn ridge along with that box. And that creates a nice little spot. So when I sit here and I face forward in the driver's seat, I can kind of relax here. I have this whole area that's not intruding into me. A lot of people that build vans and they do kind of pack the interior with stuff, they'll have this wall that will divide the back area and the sliding door, and it'll go from this point here all the way across. And what that does is it restricts the movement of the driver's seat. You can't lean back in it. You certainly couldn't swivel it. And so what this does is it allows this area to be very useful. I can have a little table here, right here, for like a coffee cup. There's going to be a countertop here, which is going to go across, and that countertop's going to be 3/4 of an inch, a little bit thicker than this. But it's going to be a material called Richlite. And I just sealed the deal to get the material from Richlite. So the countertops are all going to be this Richlite. Richlite's super cool because it's compressed paper. So basically they take recycled paper, they layer it, they color it, and then they compress it down with a bunch of adhesives, and it becomes really, really solid material for countertops. So it's popular in the van life community. It's also somewhat eco-friendly, and it's a little lighter than, say, a Corian countertop. But the tops of these will be 3/4 of an inch black diamond. And then kind of, before we go in too much, there's another material that they make. This is called Little Tahoma. You can see it's got some striation to it, some layers. And that is going to be a table that is going to be here on this wall. So this wall is going to have a table about this big that's going to be made out of this Little Tahoma. And it is going to be able to fold down and stick out of the van when I'm at events or I'm hanging out at a park or something and I want to sit outside, and I can actually have like a little picnic table that sits out here. That's going to be very cool. I'll also have this black diamond material that's going to create an extension for the kitchen that will go up here as well. I'm trying to rifle through this stuff because there's a lot of new stuff that I needed to talk to you about. So here's the sink. Sink will go here. And again, the countertop's going to go across. Here you can see the color that I ended up choosing for the cabinets of the van. It is a bit light. It is, but I needed some light. There's a lot of darkness in the van, and we've got like this is the ceiling material. It's also going to be the flooring material, but this is going to be basically the cabinet faces, and the cabinet sides are going to be this color. And so same here, this is going to be that. And then the let's see, the cabinet faces are all going to, like the doors are all going to be this material here, which you can't really tell here, but it does have some blue to it. This is that little black dress, and this is the sample material. So yeah, check it out. We have the uppers. All of the uppers are in place. And I installed them temporarily yesterday just so I could get an idea of how everything was going to look. And so, yeah, we have the deeper outers here, and then we got the more shallow outers over there, over the podcasting lounge. And, yeah, super cool. So I even temporarily set in the refrigerator just to check for size. Fits like a glove. This is where my toilet's going to be, right here. My heating system's there. My plumbing system's there. Then we've got my water tank is here. The air conditioning system is here. The batteries are going to be here with my electrical box. This is super cool. This is going to be like a big open vanity container. It's going to be painted white, and it's going to be illuminated, and it's going to show and focus on the interior electrical system, which is from Victron, which is super cool. Each one of these panels will be coated, and I'll have strategic use to all of these areas below. I have a mini shelf that I need to insert in there, but that's not quite ready yet. But yeah, in a nutshell, this is the van so far. I have to tear down these uppers, sand them, prep them. I have some work to do down in the podcasting lounge, but I wanted to kind of do a quick video of the interior because it's kind of neat to have everything put together. What is the dog doing? What are you doing, Jake? So funny. And Boaz just wants to jump. Boaz thinks this van is his own private doghouse. You're too big, Bo. Anyways, that's the van so far. It's coming along. And like I said, I got a lot of updates that are coming about trips and videos and content and stuff, but I thought it was necessary to put this out.